Good afternoon. 4-minute warning for this lunchtime movement snack. Come on. Who's in today? Orderly queue, take your time. Come on. Hi, Chris. Got a bit of a glare going on. I look like I've got a moon face or something today. Morning. Afternoon. Still morning technically. Okay. If this is your first time tuning in, don't be alarmed at this random chatter. This is our 4-minute countdown, pre-broadcast, broadcast, before we get moving. And it's generally where people say hello, wave at me. Ireland are in. Hello, Ireland. Some really exciting stuff going on in Ireland. Shout out to Vanda and Adele. I could say hello to every name coming in, but I'm aware that's a little bit tedious. So thank you everyone for coming on back. And we're always interested to know what brings you back. Literally, what makes you, what encourages you or inspires you to click that little button 3 times a day at the moment. Really helps us understand where we could go with this, actually. So if you're getting ready, getting the movement, getting to the zone, the movement zone. How are you feeling from this morning? What did we do? Mobility routine, that's it. 30 seconds and then we're going to go. Start thinking about where you're going to stand, where you're going to sit. We're on our bit of a balance progress check today, or baseline check, depending how you're when you're starting with us. So sturdy chair as always, and a good old sturdy support for handhold if you need. If the comments on your screen are annoying or aren't what you need at this moment, just give them a swipe and they go away and you can read them afterwards. Right, we're going to go. 3, 2, 1. Go. Good afternoon, my name is Bex Townley. Welcome to day 11. This is week 2 of this Make Movement Your Mission. This is our second movement snack today. The whole aim is to accumulate additional movement minutes over and above any other activities you may already be doing. From what we're hearing from this community, for some of you this is the pin of the day to actually focus. These 3 snacks are your movement opportunities, and for others they're in addition to lots of other things. So every movement counts and we're looking to accumulate gains over time. This morning in the morning sessions we focus on mobility, moving all the key areas of the body to improve movement for everyday activities. And in this lunchtime movement snack we focus a little bit more on strength activities and perhaps an introduction to some balance activities, and that's what we're going to do today, but I'm still going to crowbar in a bit of strength. So pick your position, sit or stand, you choose, and feel free to switch between the 2. On the progress checks today, these are the progress checks from the activity calendar. Remember that you can either purchase from us for a small fee, or we've made it freely downloadable so you can print yourself at home if you have one. So let's get going. Here's my chair. I've selected my little corner again today because it offers lots of different types of support options, because we're going to be starting to introduce some balance activities. So make sure you've got wall, sturdy surface. Let's have our start position. Circulation boost, as ever. In seated, if you're in seated, hip walk forward. This will make it easier to move and easier to stand. Feet under knees, and let's just start with our circ boost ankles. If you're in standing, it's the same. Pick up your position, support if you need, lift and open, and start to articulate the ankles, avoiding flat feet. Be more mindful and aware of your standing posture. If you can be helped by a bit of confidence with a hand on or fingertip somewhere here, so that you can freely stand and think about ankle mobility. In seated, it's the same. Lifted open posture. Glance down if you need to, look ahead if you can. We're literally boosting the circulation, helping our circulatory system and getting us ready for these movements in this stack. Pause the feet in sit and stand. Lift and open. If you need to have a pit stop at any time, that's okay. And now we're going to consider bringing in shoulders, upper body, trunk, one or two, bring them together, offer support. So just pick a position that's best for you. And in standing, this is the same. Freeing up the arm action, focusing on this backward press also of the elbow, changing arms if you need to, and when you feel you can, bring them together. It's steady. It's regular, it's even, transferring the weight, focusing on heels. In standing, if you're confident with this one, we can move into our diagonal toe taps. So more focus on ankles because we're going to be thinking about balance. This means I'm thinking. So really articulate the toes out now. So really try to. We're also preparing the hips, so potentially preparing for some additional sideways steps. In seated, it's the same. Slightly, just kind of slightly outside of the width of the chair, but now the focus is on this toe tap. And look to see if that's happening. Really articulating the feet. So we've got circulation boosting, but we've started to consider the additional mobility from the hips because it's going to prepare us for what's to come. I get so excited just about circulation booster. Has it done the job? So you should feel a little bit, perhaps a little bit warmer. You might need to take a deep breath. We're not out of breath, but something has definitely changed. Just a couple of mobility movements from our morning routine, please. And I would like to do trunk turns, trunk twist, in sit or stand. Again, we're rehearsing this strong base of support through the buttocks and the feet. Lift and open, and then bring in a couple of trunk turns or trunk rotations. Take a pause in the middle and just feel that your middle bit, your spine is being activated more than perhaps it has this morning. In stand, strong steady position. I'm in a perfect position here. I can take my turn. I can keep my fingertips on the wall if I need to, and I can come back or I can use the support here. Turn, pause, and turn. So I'm just preparing my trunk generally again for any reactions or balance extra steps I may need to take. Just for that, few extra shoulder mobilities in there in sit or stand, just to remind how the posture very much affects our balance in standing. So lift and open. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm going to show you the whole thing first and then decide if you want to have a go later or have a go now with me. I'm going to show you the standing option first. Now the standing option might be right for you if you're already freely moving around your own home without concern. If you have big concerns about your balance, you might want to just decide to look at the seated balance option today or take this challenge with lots of support. Have a look first and then decide, please. In the calendar, we summarise the foot positions here. I'm just going to show those to you now. Seated option, if you just have a sit and just have a watch for this one, please. In standing, hand on for support, or 2 types of support, or a solid wall for support. You choose. If you need it, please use it. Your feet are going to stand fairly close together, not touching, kind of hip width a bit narrower. How do you feel in that position? Have a think. If you feel confident and able to, we release this grip here and aiming to stand here for 10 seconds, so slow count of 10 in your head. Once you get to 10, or if you get to 10, that's the end of the first part of the challenge. And you write down 10 seconds in this position. However, if as you start to release this support, if you feel that you need to take an extra step, or you need to put the hand out, that's the end of the progress check. For example, 1, 2, okay, 2 seconds is my score. End a progress check. If you were successful in maintaining 10 seconds here, we can move on to the next step. This is a step forward. So fingertip on, just while you're rehearsing and learning this. Glance if you need to, and we take a step forward so that the feet are now in this position. And again, we're looking to see how we feel in this position for up to 10 seconds. I just want to turn sideways to show you something. When I take this step, I want to transfer the weight so I'm balanced across both feet. Still have support if I need, and there's the position, and I'm looking to count 2, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. At any point, if I need to end that position, that's the score. How many seconds? If you're successful in achieving 10 seconds in that position, here's the third position. It's the feet like so, as if they're on a tightrope. Have a look. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. Here's my support. Glance down if you need to. Have a look at the position. One foot slightly in front of the other. Stand on both feet, stand up tall. And then if you feel confident at that point, we can start to take the hand away. And the score ends at the point that you need to move the foot or need to put the hand out. There's a fourth stage. Here's the final stage. The final stage is, how do you feel on one leg? So for example, this one, in position, prepare my leg here, pick it up, and there's the single leg stand. That's the end of the count. How's that? That's all 4. Now, what I suggest you do is just rehearse those foot positions with lots of support, just so you know where we want to be. And over time, stepping into those positions becomes part of the challenge as well. So use support if you need. If seated option is where we're at the moment, being balanced in a sit position is important and still critical to perform activities of daily living, whether you're ambulant at some points or not, or whether perhaps you're a wheelchair user. So I still need my seated balance skills and abilities. For this one, the principles kind of still apply. So buttocks firmly on the chair. If you're able to bring the feet closer together, do so, and just adopt this upright position. And we're just looking to maintain this maybe 30 seconds. If you can achieve 30 seconds, maybe 45 to a minute max, and then come out. If you want to further challenge your balance, we can reach away from our buttocks, as it were. So keep your buttocks firm, and then we can just take a little forward reach and just really see how we are balanced in that position. There's no absolute progress score on that as such, but you could maybe count how many times to reach out until the point that you need to rest. Okay, so that's our balance progress checks. Before we go, I'd like to just do a couple of ankle strength, if I may. This is the one where you need a cushion. We've done lots of mobility in this range of movement for ankles. Now we're just going to look at the outsides and the insides. So cushion between the knees like so. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. Maintaining this lifted posture, and we're going to sweep the feet out and up, come back to the floor, slightly inwards and then in and up. So you have the work now is to press away and up, and it's like your little toe is coming up to the sides of the foot. Pause after each one, slide in and then in and up, and you're strengthening the insides and the outsides of the ankles. Feel how this is for you. It might be quite a small range of movement, certainly if you have reduced mobility in your ankles, so just persevere with this one. Hopefully you can feel that these are the muscles we need if we're walking on uneven surfaces or on slopey surfaces or uneven ground, for example. If you don't feel ready for that one, the other option is toe raises. Feet slightly forward, glance down if you need to, squeeze the toes up and lower down. If you take the foot further forward, this will allow you a little bit more movement. Squeeze the toes up and slowly lower. If you perform those toe raises in standing, make sure you have some support, or you may want to stand with your back to the wall so that as the toes come up, you have some additional support here. This is going to challenge your balance as well as your strength. So pick up some support, pick up the toes this way, keep the backside in. If you prefer, you can bring in a little bit more balance here, toes up this way and the wall is here. It's a pick and mix. It's a pick and mix. Okay, that's the end of our lunchtime movement snack. If you really want to, between now and 4 o'clock, how about a few more sit to stands? So the chair rises and the lowering slowly, or the jockey lifts. Crowbar in some extra strength activity if you can. See you at 4 o'clock for our kind of stretch routine, plus a little bit of 3-dimensional movement to really kind of get movement flowing and integrating all of these different movement ranges that come together and bringing in all the coordination challenges. That is end of movement snack 2, which means that's 20 minutes in your accumulative movement minute benefit bag. See you back at 4 o'clock. Thank you very much. Oh, don't forget, Saturday, 11 o'clock. I announced this morning. I'm going to be doing an example of a purely seated movement snack. This Saturday, 11 a.m, I'm just going to do a purely seated movement snack example of. That's it. Goodbye. The end.